Hey guys, Coach Nate here and welcome to my short video on how to fix tight hips. So here's the problem. You spent all day sitting or driving, you're in that half sort of flex 90-degree position, and what that's doing is it's causing your front of your hips to be really, really tight. Your hip flexors are locking up and it's giving you a lot of grief when it comes to squatting, running and any sort of movement, kettlebell swings, deadlifts, anything where you've got that extension in your hip. So you're never really able to open up and stand tall and get those glutes locked out. You're losing that glute activation, which is a really important part of what we're trying to create with power and drive through our lower half of our body. And it's limiting your ability to progress, but also it's increasing your risk of injury, in particular hamstring tears. The purpose of today's stretch is to really open up this area and get mobile in our hips so that we can squat better, deadlift better, and just move better as an athlete. What you're going to need for this movement pattern is you're going to need a mat or some sort of padding to help just protect your knee in the bottom position, because what's going to happen is if your floor's really hard, it's going to hurt your knee. So you chop your mat into the corner like that, and you're going to need a wall to work with this one, guys. So then we go down onto all fours, we push our knee right into the corner against the wall, and then our other leg is going to run vertical up the wall with our laces touching, and our front leg is going to be out and wide and across from there at about a 45-degree angle. From this position, I'm going to get into sort of a push-up with my arms and my chest up nice and tall. I'm going to squeeze and lock my core on while I drive this hip towards this knee. While I do that, I'm going to experience a stretch through the front of this hip, and if I'm really tight, I'm also going to feel it in my quad lower down my leg. I'm going to spend time in this position. I'm going to hang out 5 minutes each side. And I'm just going to open up that hip by driving that knee across. If a common fault with this stretch is that you're arching your back and not locking on your core before you move, so engage your core and then wind your hip on, you're going to notice it in the hip more. If you're flaring through your ribs and your core is loose, you're going to be arching in your lower back and not really opening the hip. So that's fix number one for a common mistake. Second common mistake is that your bum's back closer to the wall and you're never really opening up that hip. So your body will twist and sort of contort out of the stretch because your hips are that tight. So be mindful to drive those hips forward and lock that up. You can also do things like walking around to this side, the front leg side, and it's going to help to create more of a stretch as well. If you're advanced, this position isn't going to be enough, so you're going to need to go up to one leg, and from there you're going to get an even truer stretch, and if that's not enough, you can also go to the upright, completely upright position. These positions are more for advanced people that have been doing this stretching for a while, or if you've already got decent hip flexibility. What I want you to do, like I said, is hang out for 5 minutes each side with that stretch. It's going to pay dividends in your overall movement patterns and in your heavy lifting that we're going to be giving you guys throughout the program. This is an important part of an everyday thing you've got to do. Spend time on this, guys. The more time and effort you put into this, in comparison to the amount of time you sit in your day, it's going to pay dividends in the long run. That's all from me. I'm Coach Nate from Project Alpha. Stay Alpha.